Definitely, yeah. And that day also, we also had time just to talk about any other thing.
But I wish to ask, when you invited me, did you like have intentions or you know?
Well, let's say that I really just invited you just as brotherly love, brotherly love, brethren. As
So did you used to invite other sisters to your house? That's so
So while I'm going out of the office, having talked about my marital plans, I see her, my future beloved.
Bye.
Hi guys!
Welcome back to our YouTube channel.
You're all welcome back to our YouTube channel. I'm Wilson and this is my wonderful wife.
Tatiana.
And together we are
WILTAT.
Yeah. So on this channel we talk about relationships,
Dating.
marriage,
Lifestyle.
and faith. You're again highly welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we'll be talking about the wonderful, amazing story of how we met. It's an awesome story you all want to hear.
Yes, it is. By God's grace, we have we had a divine encounter or a divine way of meeting together. So we want to share with you how these two lovebirds got to meet. Yeah, so stay tuned.
It's a wonderful and amazing story that you all want to know. So we started this wonderful story of ours about 9 years ago from now, when I first came to the church where she fellowships. She used to fellowship in Bethel World Outreach Ministries in Bamenda, and I started going to that church in 2012, ending 2012. Oh, those days were amazing, Yeah, it was a friend who had brought me there. Hi to my wonderful dear friend, Brother Blaze. And over the months, over the years, I continued to fellowship there. I grew up in the Lord. 2012 passed and 2013 came, and she was in the choir. And at some point, I had joined the choir also. However, we had not started a relationship per se. We just knew each other.
Maybe he joined the choir because of me, though.
Oh, really? Well, by then, I just joined the choir because of the love of the Lord and the love of singing. Yeah. And so 2013 passed. By then, I was in medical school, and I was in my third year medical school. And I continued to fellowship there at that church, and it was great. The brethren were amazing. Everyone was great. Hi to all our pastors and all our brethren at that time, in Jesus' name. So it so happened that the following academic year, that is the 2013-2014 academic year, I was not to continue at that university, that medical school where I was, because of some suspension of some schools, some medical faculties in our country by that time. So mine at that time was also suspended, so we couldn't continue. So we now had to find ways for me to continue school. My parents, my family, my mom, my dad, they were just, a bit tensed and wanting to know where I would continue my school. And a door opened for China. And so as a door opened for China, I started Chinese language school in 2014, January. I started Chinese language in a school in the capital city of Cameroon, that is in Yaoundé. And I did about 2 months of studies there. All this time, all this while, we had not started a relationship. We were just as friends and let's say just even brethren in church.
I'm not sure I really knew him per se, though. I'm sure I just met him like once a while, just like someone coming to church. I'm not sure I even started talking to you yet.
We used to discuss, but at a very shallow level, However, someday while I was still in medical school, I think it was in 2013, I had invited her in my house. And then she had come with her sister.
It was a genuine.
Yeah, it was just a normal invitation. It was just a normal
and I
invitation.
went there with my younger sister.
Yeah.
Nothing suspicious, just going to visit like a brother.
Definitely, yeah. And that day also, we also had time just to talk about any other thing.
But I wish to ask, when you invited me, did you like have intentions or?
Well, let's say that I really just invited you just as brotherly love, brotherly love, brethren.
So did you used to invite other sisters to your house? So why me? I'm just curious. I've never asked him though.
I had, well, kind of. From that our church, did I ever invite another sister? However, at that time we used to host also. World Changers gathering. It used to hold in our house sometimes on Saturdays. So some brethren also used to come to our house.
You really fell in love. I'm sure. Anyway, let's continue.
So it happened that in March 2014, I had to travel to China. Before traveling to China, I had already had my visa by then. Since I started the school, and then by then the applications were ongoing, I had had my visa in March, so I was to travel to China. My traveling date was the 20th of March 2014, and before then I had to go to the city where the church was, to say goodbye to the church and then to have a good farewell and blessings from the church. So I had to travel to that city. That was Bamenda in Cameroon. Yeah. Our family house where we used to stay, where we stay with our parents, was Bafoussam, another city, yeah, about 2 hours away from Bamenda. So I first went back to our family house, and then I had to go to Bamenda to say goodbye to the church. So it was on 16th of March 2014, I had traveled to have a good farewell from the church. And on that day also, the Lord had laid in my heart to open and express myself. However, I did not express myself directly to her. I went to the pastor, the youth pastor, that was Pastor Gordon. A warm hi to Daddy G. And I expressed myself to him, and I told him that I wanted and I wish, I have the ambition that even as I'm traveling to China, I want to have to spend the rest of my life with her, that I had marriage ambition for her. And he said, oh, that is good, that is nice. Pastor Gordon is also her spiritual father. So it so happened, he asked me, have you talked to her? Have you opened up to her? I said, no, what can I say to her?
Because I was still quite young.
Yeah.
Very young.
She was actually very young by then. She did not even have the advanced level. She had not even started university yet. So Pastor Gordon called the senior pastor, that was Reverend D4, to also come and hear things, hear the matters at the hand. So when Reverend D4 came into the office also, I laid the issue at hand, expressing my desire and my futuristic plans for her. He said, oh, that's good, boy. Very good, boy. We will keep her for you, boy. And so I was so happy. I was blessed. I left back on that day from Bamenda back to our family house in Bafoussam with joy in my heart. After the church, I also just went back home. That day when I left the office, and as I was leaving the office, I saw her just a few meters ahead. She was sitting while waiting for her mother. That day, they had a mother's talk after service. And curiously enough, I remember the announcement on that day. They announced that as the mothers will be meeting, they'll be talking about marriage or something like that. So while I'm going out of the office, having talked about my marital plans, I see her, my future beloved.
By faith.
Yeah.
You never knew.
Yeah.
If I would accept him or not. Yeah.
Exactly, but I just had the confidence, you know. By then, I really hadn't told her anything about it. I even traveled to China without having said nothing. Yeah. So we just said goodbye. I left. I took some of my things in my former house where I was living in Bamenda, and I put them on the bus and traveled back to Bafoussam, the town where our family house is. So on the 20th of March 2014, I traveled to China. I arrived in China on Friday, the 21st of March. I traveled on a Thursday, leaving from Douala Airport to Guangzhou on Friday, the 21st of March 2014. Guangzhou is the city where I arrived in China. So life just went on, and 2014 passed. 2015 even came again and passed. We hadn't been in contact, no contact at all, nothing said, you know, but I was still keeping alive the vision and the ambition and the desire to get married to this beautiful, wonderful lady.
I'm sure he really walked by faith, because like by that time I had many people like really coming to me, and I really had no idea that this guy was interested or there was someone somewhere like being interested. So I think his walk was really by faith. Yeah.
Amen. The righteous shall live by faith. Yeah. Even I was telling to my friends that I have, you're with guys, and then I even had her picture in my cupboard in the dormitory where I was sleeping.
These pictures.
Yeah, I used to keep this alive in me, keep her image alive in me, and still being very hopeful that it will come to pass. It will come to pass. And I have never had any other girlfriend here in China, not at all. Yeah, never approached any other girl to even chat her, because I knew that mine was there, well kept. Yeah, indeed. So it was only in ending 2015 that I got her number. I asked her number from Reverend Defoe, the pastor of Bethel Church by then, and he's passed it on to me. And I wrote to her a message around ending December, just to wish her like a, Merry Christmas. But I'm not sure she saw that message. She didn't respond.
Yeah, I'm not sure I saw it. Yeah, I'm not sure.
On the 2nd of January again, which happens also to be her birthday, that was January 2016 now, I sent her another message to wish her a happy birthday and a happy new year. And by the grace of God, she saw that message and she replied.
Alright, just to mention that I think towards the end of December too, yes, because I think we had like a youth program in church or something like that. I remember the pastor of the church called me into his office, and he was like, "How are you?" I said, "I'm fine," and everything. And he was like, "Oh, there is this brother who traveled to China and desires to like be in contact with me." He never told me anything like really detailedly. So, well, he just gave me a hint like, okay, there's someone who's interested in you, but you have to get to know him.
That was me.
You have to get to know him and things like that. So he was like, I'll give you his contacts, and then I'll also give your contact to him so that you guys can, keep in touch. And
the contact of the brother with the vision.
And start discussing. So that's what he did. But when he gave me his contact towards the end of December, I just registered the number, but I didn't get to him yet. Yes, so of course he had to make the
What was the name you had registered? What you registered
Brother
me what
Listen.
name? Oh really?
Yeah. I knew you as a brother, Listen, very simply.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yes, on the 2nd of January, which happened to be my birthday, like he said, he sent me a message. So I saw that message, yes, and then I replied.
That message was carrier of good tidings.
Yeah, so that's when we got into contact. But he never really mentioned anything. I always tell him that you never really, like, in quotes, chatted me per se, but he said he
I think I did, because we now, as from that time, 2016, we now started to chat, and by then there was, I think there was WhatsApp, and we were now chatting more and more on WhatsApp, and that's how I was unfolding unfolding the sweet thoughts, unfolding just having to, we were getting to know each other better.
Yes,
we were getting to like each other actually, because she also liked to talk to me.
See this guy. Basically, we were just trying to build a friendship, right? Because, like we said, when he was in Cameroon, like, we never really had a close relationship per se. So we were still trying to build. I was still trying to know, who is this guy? Like, okay, you've traveled abroad. Have you changed? Okay, so we were still trying to build up that friendship. It was not really like, okay, it's already I'm really getting into a relationship. No, it was a thing of building that friendship first, getting to know who he was,
exactly.
and him as well, getting to know who I was.
Exactly.
Yeah, before
So we were actually building the relationship, getting to know each other better, getting to like each other, getting to know what each other like just getting to have this not only the first acquaintances, not only the first contact, but also getting a bit deeper and deeper and deeper. Yeah.
Getting to know each other's vision. Sorry, like, where is he going to? Can I run with his vision? Like, are we really compatible? Things like that, like really deep questions, asking. There was a lot of asking and asking and asking. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because it was a long distance relationship. Well, a long distance friendship at the time. So there were a lot of things that, well, we walked by faith. Because whatever he said, I had to believe. And whatever I said, so yeah. But at the same time, I think it's important to mention that we tried as much as possible to as well involve maybe the friends we had at the time, families, because it's not just depending on one person's word. Like, you have to know the people around him. Is it true? Do they have a positive testimony of this person? And so yeah, I think there were a few of his friends whom I remember the Simons. We love you so much, the Simons. I remember. Yeah.
Joel also.
Joel, Brian. Yeah. So his family back here in China. So I got to talk with them like once a while on phone and things like that.
What did your mom say? Your mom?
He has gone straight to my mom. Yeah, anyway, my mom is she's the darling. She's my best friend.
Hello, mama.
After him, of course. I'm very close with my mom. So at the time when the pastor told me about him, I think not long after that I spoke with my mom about it. Like, I told her what was happening, and she was like, "Oh, so this guy has gone to China and he still has you at heart after how many, like maybe 2 years or so?"
Yeah, I carried this
she was
wonderful
really,
woman
she was
in my
really
heart.
very impressed, and she was like, "Oh, okay, get to know him better, get to discuss with him more." And she was aware of the friendship we were kind of building and things like that. So we'll unfold the other things and the roles she played along the line. So
Amen. So over the months and over the years, we were discussing throughout 2016, and I had this desire. I wanted to come back to Cameroon to see my family, to see her, and to also participate in the DESCO Destiny Conference by the World Changers that we used to have every year. So I really wanted to come back to Cameroon. So by the grace of God, he opened me a door and granted me to have a ticket to fly in August of 2017. I was there on the 31st of July. I traveled, I think, on the 30th of July. I arrived on the 31st of July. Yeah, so throughout August, I was there. until late August when I came back to Cameroon. When I came back to China, sorry.
All right, let me correct you a little. Because in 2016, like he said, we got talking throughout that year, and we were still building the friendship.
Exactly.
We did video calls, audio calls.
Yeah.
I mean, because
she liked to talk to me.
No, he liked to talk to me. Because China and Cameroon have like a 7 hours difference, so it was a lot of sacrifice. Sometimes he had to. I think he did most of the staying awake.
Yeah. You know, by when it's about 2 a.m. here in China, it's still 7 p.m. in Cameroon. You imagine. And sometimes she will have school, she will end it even at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. when it will already be around 1 p.m. here. Yeah,
and for the course, it was mostly during the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. And those are also busy days for us in church, in school. So he pretty much had to stay awake, like, yes. So what did I want to say? Like throughout 2016, we were still building like that friendship. And I think it was early 2017, of course, as the months were passing by, like things were getting
better,
more.
things were getting clearer, you know.
Yeah. And so he also wanted to know like my response, like, okay, we've spent some time like building this thing, like what do you think? What do you say? And things like that. And since he had as well shared his vision to me of coming to Cameroon in 2017, so I told him I was going to give him a response in August when he comes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I left him suspended for like let's say for that long.
The brother was still very confident, you know. The brother was still very confident, and my expectations were not cut off. So I traveled to Cameroon. I arrived in Cameroon on the 31st of July. Oh, that day, my mom came to pick me up. She was there also at the airport, and Pastor Gordon also was there at the airport. Thank you so much again. Oh, that wonderful day. The delay that the plane gave us when we arrived to Douala, from leaving Douala to come to Yaoundé. The delay was so long.
What a wait. I was like, oh wow. So I really like this guy so much, because we arrived at the airport at about 11. Yes, about 11 a.m. in the morning. And imagine he was getting out of
the airplane in Yaoundé airport.
Past 6 p.m.
It was, oh Jesus.
What a wait. What a wait. But of course, our prayer was that he gets safely. He gets to Yaoundé safely.
So I arrived in Yaoundé finally. And when I saw them, when I touched the grounds of Cameroon again, I just fell on my knees and said, Lord, thank you. Yeah. And it was so wonderful. I hugged my mom so warmly and nicely. I hugged them so nicely. I hugged her so well also. So we went on. So now I was in Cameroon on a faithful 12th of August. Oh Jesus, that day is a legendary day for us.
Yeah.
On a faithful 12th of August, we were in Bamenda by then. She had traveled to Bamenda. Me too, I had traveled to Bamenda. That was the town we had initially met. Yeah. That day, I had invited her in the house where I was living in Bamenda. At that current moment, it was the house of my friend. Hi to my friend, Muma Richard, who is now married. And she came to our house where I was living by then. And that day also, we had to talk, we had to chat. And I asked her again the well-awaited question.
Anyway, I think that it was, I think it was also a step of faith for me. Because yes, we all know that long distance relationships are not really, really easy. Sometimes you trust the person to be what he says or what image the person has painted, but at the end maybe that's not actually who the person tends to be. So I think it was an act of faith as well for me. And I must mention that I got a lot of good reports of him,
Mm-hmm.
from people.
Yeah,
I remember
thank God.
in the course of time when Reverend Zifo, because along the lines he was following up, he was like, how is it going, how are you guys and everything. And I think I also asked him his like point of view, like what do you think about this guy, because they are pastors, they have connections, they know people and things like that. So he was like, amongst all the people who have come for you, because how to say, normally the rules in, like say rules in church per se, or the protocol for you to like get to talk to a sister, ask a sister out, is that you have to pass through like the pastor or spiritual authorities, and they will help you in the process. I think we'll do another video where we talk about the importance of spiritual authorities and probably
parental authority.
In the decision, marital decision.
Exactly.
Yeah, so because some people say, oh, why go through that process? Why is it you just get to talk to the sister? But I think that it's very important.
So important.
It's very important for you to, especially if you are from a church where that's the protocol, that's how things are done. It's important for you. So what the pastor told me was, amongst all the people who have come for you, I'll recommend this guy, like he's the best. So he had a good report, and that went really straight to my heart. And I also remember my mom, because she was also following up and everything, and she told me, oh, what are you waiting for to give this guy his response? Like, what are you waiting for?
By then she was already a year 2 university student.
I was preparing for my HND, so actually I wanted my results to be out, and then I gave him a response. And the results came out by the end of July, towards the period when he was coming. So because I really got good feedback from people that I really value the Lord, so it was quite easy for me to, even my spiritual father, Daddy G, I mean, when he spoke about this guy, he was like, what are you doing? Because I kept on updating him about the men who were approaching me and everything. So he saw the pressure. He already knew about the guy, but he couldn't, because like it was still a pastoral, when I say secret or so. So he was like, no, don't bother. The Lord has prepared somebody good for you and everything. And one day he was like, this guy, Wilson, is for you. The guy is amazing. I mean, everybody was speaking so well about this guy.
Glory to God. Yeah.
So I think that also contributed to my giving him a positive response.
Oh, yeah. So when I asked her that, do you want for us to continue this adventure? Do you want for us to take up the wonderful story that we have started to a higher level? And she gave me a
yes.
Oh.
Of course.
Yeah, I was so glad and filled by the Spirit, filled with joy. I had prepared a little bracelet for her that day, and I put that bracelet on her hand. I put that bracelet on her hand. I went down on my knees, and then I put this bracelet on her hand. She was so happy. She was so glad, and she's always told me that she considered that bracelet as a what?
An engagement ring.
Yeah, that she has always considered it as such. So it really meant a lot to her. Thank God I made that impression. So it happened that I had now to travel from Cameroon back to China. I traveled back to China here towards ending August. Yeah, and as I traveled, that was towards ending August. I think it was on the 21st of August, 25th of August. We continued life, we continued the relationship, and everything went on well. It took 1 year again. We were chatting deeper and deeper, our parents being involved, our friends being involved, And in 2018, I was in Cameroon again. Yeah, I attended the Destiny Conference in Cameroon of that year. And everything went on so well again by the grace of God. I went again to see her, and on the 21st of August, when I was already in Cameroon, we had programmed something wherein my parents and I, both families will meet. It was such a wonderful, a remarkable day. Oh, that day was glorious. They cooked, they received us so well, so nicely, And our parents were so thrilled and happy. I remember. Do you remember? Do you remember what our parents did that day?
Please go ahead and say it.
So my mom, or her mom, she mentioned something like, "I hope that she is our star. That her daughter, she is our star, and I hope that you will keep our star shining." And then I took over. I said, "Yes, Mama, I'll make this star shine brighter and brighter and brighter." And they were so happy. They jumped. My mom jumped. Her mom jumped. They held each other, hugged each other, so dancing, and it was so great, you know.
Yeah, it was a great time. Alright, so not to make the video too long because we are really so fast forward to 2019, he helped me obtain a scholarship to get to China, because as well, like, we had shared like the vision, right? He had shared his vision to me, and of course I knew that he was going to be mostly based in China, so it was not like waiting for him to finish his medical education before coming back and we continue things like that. So it was more of me joining him over here. So he helped me to obtain a scholarship. By that time I had my degree already, my bachelor's degree, so I was going in for a master's.
Yeah.
So I got the master's by God's grace, and also by his help. It was really of great help. And so I got to China
September 2019, together with some other friends with whom other friends for which I had also applied. Hello Cedric, hello Laundry. They came over. My sister also, they traveled. And also Arda, hello. And we also get to meet Warren.
Yeah, so just to say, we'll just spare the details of every other thing that happened. But I think that was also another phase of our relationship, because for all this time we had been managing a long distance relationship.
Very long, a kilometric relationship. Thousands upon thousands of kilometers.
So basically we were in the same country now. True that it was still not easy because we were still in different cities per se. Yes. Yeah. But at least he could travel to come and see me from time to time, maybe once a month or so.
Yeah. The relationship was shortened, though it was still a kind of distance relationship, but it was a bit shortened. Now we could be in the same time zone and talk on the same time zone, you know.
And so now you get to be with the person one-on-one, right? Like physically, and you get to see a lot of things that you weren't seeing on phone. So yes, I think that particularly for me, I don't know about him, he will speak for him, but particularly for me, it was really like another phase. It was like, okay, restarting over. You're conscious that, oh, this is the person like I am with, and so you get to see the differences, you get to see who the person really is.
Exactly.
Not that he wasn't what he really said. What was most, how will I put it? Not really shocking, but yes,
interesting,
remarkable. For me, was how extroverted this guy was. I was like, what? Because I'm really more of an introvert. So for those who know him, he's very, very open. He's an extra extrovert, if I can put it that way. So I was like, what? How can you do this? Some things, I mean, it was, just...
And she was new in China. She was still like in her cocoon,
I was so
and I've been in China for years, in fact, and I'm a very extroverted person. I know how to speak the Chinese language. I love to be around the brethren. I love to really interact with people. And she was just this very peaceful, quiet, smart, like, young sister.
Yeah, so I think that it was also another phase in our relationship where we really had to learn to manage those differences. And get to find that balance, because I was really so much of an introvert and he was an extra extrovert, so we really had to find the balance in order to continue.
Yeah. Indeed, we really created this good balance, and over the months, over the years, we have learned to really manage ourselves. I'm pulling her up in the ladder of extrovertedness.
He actually was like, oh, and then he'll be like, can't you speak up a little more? And things like that. But by God's grace, we are really finding that balance and keep on doing it.
Indeed. So, to get the long story short,
story short.
yeah, it happened that over the years, over the months went by. We had plans to get married in January of 2021 of this year. However, because of the COVID came, some restrictions in traveling came. There were also some different type of situations that happened, and so with the consent of our parents, with the consent of our family, they agreed that we can get married here. Here in China, and it was all wonderful. It was really all
Please
all
stay
great.
tuned.
Stay tuned. More videos will be coming.
We are going to be showing you the full video of how we got married here in China.
It was amazing.
Beautiful.
Yes. So by the grace of God, we got married on the 12th of June 2021. You remember? And you remember, we have always maintained this date 12. You remember what we told you, the 12th of August 2017, as I had put her that bracelet. So that this date 12, this number 12 has always been very remarkable for us.
He has always received a lot of yes. On this.
Yeah. So, by the grace of God, we are now married, and I love my beautiful, wonderful wife. And more videos will be coming. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. So we try to bring it. How would I say, to summarize our story?
Exactly.
Really tried because it's kind of long. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And of course, if you have any questions that you would like to ask maybe about how we manage the long distance relationship, of course, along the line we are going to give some tips on what we did to be able to maintain the relationship going. So a lot of videos will be coming on, so please stay tuned, subscribe, please drop a comment, drop a like.
Yes.
Please hit the notification bell so that anytime you upload, you'll be able to be notified that there's a video.
Thank you for your support, and we love you.
We love you.
Bye bye.
Thank
God bless
you so
you.
much. Bye bye.
Bye
See you in the next video.
bye.